My name is Nancy Ruth Owens, formerly of Clewiston, Florida, Henry County. In 1989, I was pregnant with my first daughter, Crystal. We had moved back to Clewiston, and the Kajowski murders happened. Again, that was set up by Sermon Dias Jr., and it was cleared by Sermon Dias Jr. He would have established an alibi, which he was always very consciously aware of establishing alibis, which is why apparently it was so difficult for outsiders to understand what had happened to Earl Sr. Earl Jr. had set up the alibis on that one as well. My current husband, Russell Jones, had taken me out to the landfill because when he and I first met, it was under dubious circumstances. It was not a romantic connection. Certain events had taken place in Gainesville, and we connected after I had asked investigators to keep an eye on my apartment. I had gotten word that Timmy Allison was about to come out of prison, and that when he came out of prison, I was on his list. And there was a murder that occurred as well. So it wasn't under romantic circumstances that we met. I tried to tell him in the beginning, I knew that he was not gonna. I just knew that he was not going to understand and comprehend what was going on around. Nobody. This is 1989. This is 10 years after things had begun, and so far nobody, including President Reagan, had any comprehension of what was going on in the backwoods of Henry County. So I didn't really expect much in the beginning. So when Russell became a target, and he was forewarned by the Kajowskis and several other people who worked at the U.S. Sugar, he freaked out, and he took me to the landfill, and at that point he pulled a gun on me and said, "I want to know, why are all these people wanting to kill me?" And it's the first time that I was not physically able to defend myself. I was about 6 or 7 months pregnant, and it was a very uncomfortable situation. I finally convinced him to put the gun in the back seat of the car, that I didn't know why these people were trying to kill him, and his instincts were, after our first child was born, to get out of town, and they were, fortunately, that was the right decision to make. We left. We moved up to South Carolina for about 6 weeks. During the time we had lived in South Carolina is when the Gainesville murders occurred. We came back through Gainesville, and that's when we were informed by certain family members, Russell Jones Sr., that these murders had occurred, and for whatever reason he felt like this was a warning for Russell Jr. Supposedly Russell Jr. Is related to certain individuals. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. And I just know that Russell Sr. wanted to take my child and show, take her off and show her, and I wasn't comfortable with it. The fact that he said to him that this is a message to you, basically a message written in blood, was enough to make me uncomfortable. So we went back to Clewiston, and Russell got word from Sonny Barger, who I didn't know. The Hells Angels were a target of the Medellin cartel, but they never told us who our targets were. They just would point out the individuals that they wanted, wanted murdered. And so to know that this was an enemy of the cartel, I just simply didn't know. I didn't have the knowledge that I do now. So I was told that we were to meet Sonny Barger Jr. It was in Melbourne, Florida, which we did. We got to a motel. We pulled into a motel, and as soon as we pulled in, 2 motorcyclists pulled in. We went upstairs. There were 2 bedrooms that we were taken to. The first one had Pablo. This is about October 2nd of 1990. The first bedroom had Pablo Escobar tied to a bed. And I was asked by Barger if I knew who this man was. And I said, yes, I did. I was taken to the second bedroom, where I believe it was Robert Escobar was also tied up to a bed. It was about three rooms down. He asked me if I knew who this guy was. I did. I recognized him, but I lied and I said no, I didn't know who he was. So I was taken back to the first bedroom, and Barger walked away. When he did, I went to Pablo. I jumped on top of him, said a few words to him. He was very, very angry. And I had known Pablo for many years, but I had never seen this look on his face. So, long story short, I asked for a knife from the other Hell's Angels. I was given the knife, and I had screamed at this man. I said, look, we've got, basically something's got to be done. If this man lives, we're all dead. So Pablo Escobar was murdered in that motel room. I went back to Clewiston and waited for someone to come around asking questions. I was certain that there were going to be questions asked. There were other things that had taken place downstairs in the yard, where Barger had asked who killed him, what happened, who killed him, and I said I did. And then Russell said no, he did, and I said I did. And we went back and forth until I knew that to persist, and this was definitely cowardly, but when you want to live, you want to live. That's it. So I knew if I persisted in saying that I had killed him, then I was going to be the next one. So I just let Russell say that he did, and that was accepted and apparently believed to be the truth. I don't quite understand it. I do know for a fact that Pablo Escobar was not murdered by Clinton or any of Clinton's people in 1993. That's a lie, and fortunately it appears as though someone might have known, and I'm guessing, I'm not certain, but I'm guessing that fortunately they have already established Bill Clinton as a liar. So Pablo Escobar was killed 1990. Nobody chased him down to Colombia, or if they did, they were not chasing someone who was still alive. Whether they knew that or not, I don't know. Bill Clinton, he's a liar.